Hi, I'm Derek from Revival Central, South Africa. Today I just want to bring to your attention the the blessing that you can have by looking at YouTube and actually going to the history. In other words, if you go to the great military battles, for example, I'm looking at the book of Esther, and I'm looking for a bit more background to the book of Esther. Another way, other than going to Bible commentaries and looking at it that way, one can go to YouTube and look at the time. For example, the king of Persia at the time, the backdrop, and it was actually a time where the Persia was a superpower, and they were planning to attack Greece, and the way they were planning to do this was to come through Tunisia. Carthage was a naval city there, and it was very dominant in the Mediterranean. That's actually, it's part of, if you remember, in the Old Covenant, you had Jezebel, and it's the Phoenicians. She comes from Tyre and Sidon. Remember the wicked cities, not only Sodom and Gomorrah, but of Tyre and Sidon in the shore of Lebanon. And this is where the Phoenicians came from, and they moved from there to Carthage, and they were quite powerful with exploring, and they ruled the seas, and they had a very strong navy. And this is where the Persians came through Carthage and used all the ships at Carthage, and they used this to attack Greece. And it was just before they attacked Greece that was the setting for the book of Esther. And to understand the history of this, we can go to YouTube and have a look at the time of the Persians. I think it's this one here, the Persian Empire, and you can get a very good picture of what it was like at the Persian Empire, and it gives you a very different kind of background to the book of Esther. And I use YouTube a lot for history. It's amazing what you can find, and the background, and also you find also the full version of here. For example, Esther, I'm looking at the One Night with the King. The full movie is on YouTube, and this also brings to light the historic background of the Persians. And this is a very unusual way to look at the Bible, to Bible study, is to actually use YouTube. And if you're not doing so, I suggest that you could be really blessed by looking at the history and using YouTube in a way for Bible study. That's just a tip today. Consider using YouTube and looking at the history of YouTube. It's with the Roman Empire and with the different empires. It's actually very, very powerful, and you can look at even things like the rebellion against the Roman Empire. Because remember, in the time in the scriptures, that you had people there that rebelled against the Roman Empire, and you see what happened to them, and it just gives you a feel of those times. And some is more commentary, some is just more just historical. Other, there are actually even movies about the Roman Empire but the Greek Empire, and you can actually really go into history, and it all ties in with the Bible. It ties in with the scriptures and gives you an unusual background. And you can have a background, for example, with the days of Isaiah. They were dealing with the Assyrians were coming in, and they're very much like ISIS today. And you can get a feel with the Babylonians, the way they were, and this is what the prophet Jeremiah, what he had to deal with. And there's also a very good YouTube video on Jeremiah himself, and there's really a lot with YouTube, and you can get it from different perspectives. It comes a little bit differently, and it gives you quite a lot of understanding into the scriptures. This is something that many people overlook, but I'm just highlighting that today, the importance of using YouTube in Bible study, in just knowing the scripture, knowing the things of God. God bless. This is Derek from Revival Central, East London, South Africa.